It is an honor for us to have this young lady in our presence today, and my honor to introduce her to you. She was born in Fort McMurray and raised in Glovertown, Newfoundland. She spent the last 20 years working in the oil and gas industry, and she has recently returned from Ottawa, where she stood strong on the front lines to end all these mandates. She's here today to talk to us about what a person should never have to endure at their job or to keep it, and what should never, ever happen. Ladies and gentlemen, Naomi Smart.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you to the APP for having me. As Shannon said, my name is Naomi Smart. Please forgive me, I'm a little nervous. Until recently, I've spent since 2001 working in the Alberta oil and gas industry, and my last position with Canadian Natural Resources Limited. I'll come back to that in a little bit. Can everybody hear me? Okay. What does living in a prosperous Alberta look like to you? What is your vision of prosperity? To me, prosperity is being able to thrive, benefit from good fortune, wealth, flourish in my own capabilities, be able to celebrate my own successes, the successes of my family, and my friends. Regular Albertans like me, like you all here today, we just want the opportunity to provide for our families, be good, law-abiding citizens, and tax-paying as well. Just going to throw that in. Until October of last year, I was part of this proud group of Albertans. I will sheepishly admit that even as the political landscape underwent huge changes and upheavals in the last 15 years in this province, my life and the lives of my friends and family remain status quo. They say people don't take action until the devil is at your door. I feel like he stepped inside. I can no longer sit back and do nothing. I will no longer sit back and say nothing. 2021 was a strange time to embark on a new professional journey, as COVID had completely changed the way business was being conducted by these large resource companies. I was hired through a Zoom interview. Anyone know about Zoom? And away I went. COVID is and continues to be a large part of what these companies are doing on their remote sites, in their camp settings. Regular health dates, weekly, daily sometimes, outbreaks, numerous advisories that would come and go. And CNRL implemented a mandatory vaccination policy as of September 23rd, 2021. To shorten things, I was leery of the mandate. First and foremost, I just took a step back and went, wait a minute. Due to my own private medical history, which is protected by law, every one of you here is protected by law under that. I was, and I am still hesitant to take this inoculation. To be sure, I would be protected under the law and under the charter and under my human rights. I contacted a lawyer to advise me of my options within the company, where I stood, what could I do, what was the company capable of doing to me. Word got around that I was the gal that was going to say no to what CNRL wanted me to do. So within the span of about 14 days, we had amassed about 2,200 people who were interested in not complying with a mandate. I organized a Zoom meeting, everyone, and about 170 people from the company tuned into that Zoom, and we had James Kitchen, who also represents a number of other people with their human rights and their religious exemptions these days. James Kitchen joined in with our Zoom. That was in early October last year, so that was about 2-3 weeks after they released the mandate. By October 26th, less than a month later, I was unemployed with CNRL. As of now, I am still unemployed and unemployable in my chosen industry. I'm still fighting for my EI benefits. My 20-year career has been wiped out with one 12-second phone call from a manager who couldn't even say my name right. I'm still trying to process it all. Thank you for your patience. A message had been sent to the employees and to people in other industries, AHS, first responders, teachers. A message is sent. This is what happens to dissenters. Look what happens when you disobey us. On a footnote, with their updates, as recently as March 15th, CNRL has released a return to work notice. With the continuing and easing and removal of public health protocols with respect to COVID-19, CNRL has reviewed its policy and will be adjusting measures accordingly. I could go on, but we know it's coming. April 4th, everyone for CNRL has been welcomed back to work. Everyone except yours truly. They are accusing me of acting in bad faith toward the company. Pardon me? No, but I've found God. So, after October 21st, I was, and I'm still kind of in a fog. I had a lot of questions. Who could help me? What could have prevented this? Why are we here? Who has the power to fix this for me? Anyone? You would think your government might help. They could at least answer a question or two. They could have tabled legislation to prevent companies like CNRL, AHS, it goes on, from demanding and mandating that their employees take an increasingly recognized ineffective treatment to be able to feed our families. It sounds simple enough, but what did the UCP government do? Oh no. They tabled legislation to prevent people like me from filing frivolous lawsuits against companies like CNRL. I will add, it was struck down. However, they tabled it. So that's where their position is on that. So currently I sit highly skilled in my profession, unemployed and unemployable. Don't let my looks fool you. I can drive an 18 double over in a 379 Pete any day. We elect our MLAs to be our representatives, to advocate for us, to champion for our causes, and we trust that they put their best efforts forward to ensure that they enrich our lives and leaving the province in a better state than they ever found it. I think we can all agree this is not the case for the current UCP caucus of cowards. This government played an active role in ruining my life and my financial future. This government is ruining lives still as we speak. I wish that this weren't the case. I wish I could get up here and praise our elected officials for how much better our lives have become under their solid leadership, but I can't. Rewind to 2 years ago. I was case number 2 identified in the Curl Lake outbreak while I worked for Imperial Oil. After being allowed to emerge from my basement quarters after 14 days of having my meals delivered to me by gloved hands and masked faces of my family members, I came up and I went, the country is locked down for what I just did in the last 14 days. And something in me just went, nope, I can't do this anymore. I can't be silent about what Albertans, they hate all of them, everybody. They hate Canada. Okay, so back to Jordan. Sorry I'm taking so long. So Jordan had created the group MLAs, holding MLAs accountable. In a year and a half, this group has amassed a following of about 21,000 people. It has become an immense resource for people to find information, people who are new to politics, procedures, politicians, processes. People who need to know how to contact their representatives can do so through this group. Without boring you all, we've all been labeled in that group, and I'm sure in this group here today, names I don't want to mention. This year, I have sent 80 emails to my MLA on a number of issues. How many replies have I gotten back? One auto reply. I have visited their office. I have spoken with their administration team numerous occasions, only to be met with silence. What is it? What's wrong? Is this what we've become accustomed to for fair and effective representation? Have we become so apathetic that it has come to the elite few controlling the once prosperous lives of each Albertan in here? It has. But there is hope, and we can steer this ship to more favorable waters. I've found my people. We are all aware of what's happening April 9th in Red Deer. I'm certain the Premier is feeling the squeeze. With the recent outcome of the by-election up north and Brian Jean becoming victorious for the UCP, I think they feel like a breath of fresh air has finally swooped into the party, but I disagree. I know Brian personally. What do you call doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result? The system as a whole is laden with corruption, secrecy, elitism, and power-hungry individuals who are in it for themselves, not for the betterment of us. Let's become the people we want to see to get ourselves to a brighter future. Let's start making those connections again, building up the community relationships that have been lost to this terrible leadership of the last 15 years. Let's do something. Go to the websites, albertaprosperityproject.com. Have a look around. Read the information. Sign the petition. Buy a membership. Print it off. Print off if you don't want to sign it today, take it home, read it, share it with your friends and family. You can sign it at home and send it in after that. Find the people in your neighborhoods. This is doable and it is very necessary. The Alberta Prosperity Project has become a beacon of light in this dreary place we find ourselves in. Its leaders have sound policy, rational solutions, and above all, a love for Albertans that has been lost along the way under the previous governance and political parties. When I listen to the APP's aspirations for us, I know it and I feel it in my heart. There is only one way forward for this beautiful place I call home, an independent Alberta. It is my ambition to become a free, independent, and prosperous Albertan once again. I believe it's possible.